We made it a year. It's pretty freaking crazy. I mean,
Did we really?
I didn't have any doubts, but it's still an achievement.
Yeah. I think, what's the average? Like, is it 1 to 3 episodes before somebody just goes, forget it?
Yeah, I mean, we're well past the that valley of despair.
There's still despair, dude.
I hear once you get to 50, though, that's really where the magic happens.
She said.
We're almost there.
Yeah, I got 4 more years. Oh, you weren't talking about my age. My bad. Sorry.
No, I was, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Good.
We're going to get this show on the road?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. Feliz Navidad to all you festive felines fomenting frantic fur-filled festivities. This is the 41st episode of the Geekoid podcast. And as always, I'm Erik Wesslen, joined by my bestie, Jarrad Shaw. And if you're new, if you're new, welcome. We're so excited to have you. But
What's up?
In this little slice of the internet, we'd like to take a look at the most recent developments when it comes to technology, gaming, entertainment, AI, break it down in whatever way we feel appropriate, and do a little theory crafting, a little rumor mongering, and then also highlight some indie games along the way. And, that's just how we like to do things week in, week out. So we are officially at a year of doing the Geekoid podcast.
Merry
after
Christmas.
Starting
Happy birthday.
10 years ago. 1 year, 10 years later.
1 year, 10 years later. Which we did find some of the old art assets too. So maybe you guys will see.
Oh, I am definitely going to repurpose that stuff, and it is going to be absolute fire. I am so pumped.
They're so cool looking. They're so cute. They're so crazy. Yeah.
We're going to have merch in 2026. You can bet your bottom dollar.
I will be wearing our merch.
All right. We got a loaded docket today. This is not our last episode of the year, like some other lazy podcasts, but, we're just going to get right into it. There's been a lot happening in the AI space over the last couple of weeks. Do you want to start there?
Yeah, dude. It's probably the biggest news.
All right.
There's so much.
So 2025 has been absolutely crazy when it comes to AI development. We've seen new versions of Google's Gemini and OpenAI's ChatGPT. And just in December, we had Gemini 3 rollout, which it was just absolutely bonkers. Then the week after that, OpenAI released GPT 5.2, which they're just basically competing against each other for who's the top of the top. And then the week after that, last week, Gemini rolls out Gemini 3 Flash, which is
so fast, dude. So fast.
It is insane, the capabilities of these models, how, especially 3 Flash, how quickly it operates. And it's so accessible now to the wider populace. Like, I have it running almost constantly when I'm pretty much doing anything. Like, I'm using it for coding, and I've been able to really churn out some really crazy stuff that a year ago I never would have been able to do. And even just in day-to-day life. So 2 days ago, Rachel and I, we were in the kitchen. She's like, I think I want to do some more baking. I was like, all right. She's like, I have 3/4 a cup of pumpkin puree. And I was like, let's ask Gemini to come up with a recipe. And in a split second, it spits out this recipe for pumpkin muffins. And we're like, all right, experiment on. Let's make these muffins. And holy crap, they were absolutely delicious.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. And like I said, give me a recipe for muffins. And the only requirement is that it has to utilize 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin puree. And it spit out these amazing muffins. And you know what? I didn't have to sift through an entire essay filled with some bullshit about how someone's grandmother made this in the old country.
Yeah.
And try and not click on 14,000 different ads. So Yeah, Google's onto something here.
So what's the difference between Gemini 3 and Gemini 3 Flash?
So the Flash models, they run a lot faster. They do not cost as much. So if you're paying on a per token basis, so if you're thinking about using this at an API level, building it into your applications, the Flash model is going to be a lot faster, a lot cheaper, and for most use cases, it'll work fine. It's really the Gemini 3 Pro that if you want to do really long thinking, deep analysis kind of things, then you're going to want to use the Gemini 3 Pro. But for most of what people are doing, 3 Flash will work just fine. And looking at some of the graphs of where these different models are hitting the benchmarks, it is like a year ago, it's like toddlers were providing the answers. It is incredible how advanced these models have gotten. So there's something called Humanity's Last Exam, and it is a collection of questions from different realms that are the most difficult questions people could fathom. And so a regular PhD candidate human might be able to score 4% on this exam.
Good.
Yeah. The whole point is to design the most difficult exam imaginable. So these advanced models are now reaching up to 40-50% in terms of solving these exams, which is pretty freaking incredible. And then other benchmarks like the software engineering benchmark, they're hitting 80% now, which is really incredible. So like anything that you would ask a senior developer to do, AI can pretty much do it in a matter of seconds.
What was the old and within this year joke? It was like, how well can an AI spell strawberry, and how many R's will it add to
Okay.
strawberry? I wonder if finally they broke the code on that one. Oh,
Let's
let's
find out.
let's find out. How do you spell strawberry? How many R's are in strawberry?
Counting the letters. Oh, look at that. 3 R's in strawberry. It did it. You got it right.
Thank goodness. If
All
anything,
right.
that's a Christmas miracle.
The AI is now ready to take our jobs.
You finally spell strawberry.
But I mean, these latest AI models are not the only kind of craziness that has happened in the last couple of weeks. OpenAI and Disney have announced a new partnership where you will be able to use OpenAI's tools to create Disney centric characters. So if you look at what Disney or what OpenAI was doing with Sora, is that you're able to use their AI and creators would have to opt out, which is not a really good model. But now it looks like that this partnership will allow people to, create Jedi versions of yourselves or have your kids playing and interacting with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck or who knows what. I mean, this is just the very beginning, and it sounded like also Disney made $1 billion investment, I think, too, in OpenAI as part of this deal. So
Goodness
they're kind of
gracious.
teaming up, if you will. I mean, that sounds like a lot of money, but OpenAI is quickly approaching $1 trillion valuation.
Good
So
Lord.
they're at the latest fundraising, I think they were pegged at 800 billion. So this 1 billion from Disney is just kind of like peanuts at this point, which is kind of hard to wrap your head around considering OpenAI has only been around for like less than 5 years.
Yeah. And like this was like the year of like really talking about it heavily. I mean, we did and have been and will be.
Yeah, it's not going to slow down. Netflix
God, no.
acquired the game avatar maker Ready Player Me. So hot on the heels of their Warner Brothers acquisition plans, they're now bringing in Ready Player Me, and it sounds like they want to start using AI and have cross-domain, cross-platform, cross-IP avatars. So I think this is another company that is looking at their own version of the metaverse in the same way that Epic Games is, in the same way Roblox is. So all these players are kind of approaching this from different areas and kind of strategies, but they're all making inroads. It sounds like.
They're all jumping on that bandwagon, baby.
There is also some not so great AI news. So the Indie Game Awards were a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I think, at this point.
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
The Blair Obscure Expedition 33 won a number of awards, but apparently the Game Awards have snatched back 2 of those trophies over their use of generative AI.
Do you remember what those 2 awards were?
I can figure it out real quick.
I'm sure art was one of them. And Claire Obscure is a small group. I think it's like 20 people.
I think it's a little bit more than that, but they are a French indie studio that
came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And kind of really surprised everybody. So they were nominated, I believe, for 9 awards out of the 13 at the Game Awards, which is really incredible.
It's really incredible.
So they had initially won Game of the Year and Debut Game for like a new studio. And those are the 2 that were revoked shortly thereafter because the show has a strict no AI rules.
Well, yeah.
Which I mean, here's the thing. AI is going to be sprinkled into everything and every aspect of game development. So to say that you can't use AI in any way, I think is just poppycock.
Yeah. I mean, even Unreal 5 has a ton of like AI helper, software that they've added.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not using AI to write code, then you're just going to get left in the dust. Let's be real. So I'm it leaves me scratching like which of these, like there are actually games that didn't use AI at this point. So it seems I do not agree with that stance, but I'm also not on the board of directors for the Game Awards. So
yeah, we don't know all the details. Like how much do they use? What's Jeff Keighley and his board, their judgment call on the use of AI and how much of that. Because again, you're right. Like everybody's using it to some degree now. So TBD.
Yeah. So, and I have to imagine that they'll take a different stance next year, like for the 2026 Game Award. I can't imagine that they're going to hold this line in perpetuity.
No,
but
again,
we'll see.
like I just said, Unreal has a ton, like to be able to mass produce different trees. And so instead of having to copy and paste and copy and paste and copy and paste, and then try to like change a few branches here and a few branches there and change a few colors on these leaves compared to those leaves. So, yeah, they're going to have to change their stance or that for next year because then anything using Unreal will be disqualified. I don't think so.
No, they're probably not. Where do we want to go from here?
Let's do that one. I think last. Let's go to Sony next, and then we'll do
yeah. So
we'll do
few quarters ago, Sony filed a lawsuit against Tencent over a game that Tencent was promoting called Light of Motoram, which it sounds a little silly. Motoram.
Motoram. Motorboating.
Yeah. Car Ramrod in the lead of Motoram. But basically, it looked like a total clone in terms of design, premise. I mean, if you know anything about Horizon Zero Dawn, it's like robot dinosaurs. And guess what?
A weird
Light of Motoram
dystopian
had robot dinosaurs.
Yeah. And even a redheaded protagonist.
So it seemed a little too on the nose, and Sony claimed it was a slavish clone. But they've finally apparently come to an agreement, the details of which are confidential, unfortunately for us. But Light of Motoram has been removed from digital stores like Steam and Epic Games. So,
and I think each company had to pay their own legal fees.
Which these kinds of settlements like that kind of makes sense. but it really has me questioning, like, are they just done? Because I did check the Light of Motoram website, and that is still live and active. But if it's been delisted from the primary marketplaces, then probably they're not going to do anything.
They sell it themselves?
That's an excellent question. So Tencent is obviously a Chinese company, and I'm wondering if they might just double down on the Chinese market and say, we're not going to do anything overseas. We're only going to sell this in China through our Chinese marketplaces uh, in areas where Sony doesn't have a lot of penetration. And I think that would be okay, but um, TBD. So we'll keep our eyes on this.
Yeah, well, we have been, like, since it
Yeah.
came out, I think in June, because we thought it was funny then, and it's still funny now.
Yeah. Less funny news. Vince Zampella, who is one of the co-creators of Call of Duty, co-founded Infinity Ward and Respawn Entertainment, he passed away a couple nights ago in a tragic car crash. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends, and it's really a tragic loss for the entire games industry. As
Yeah, I wanted to
so many
highlight
contributions.
yeah, I wanted to highlight some of those things, like Eric's Infinity Ward and Call of Duty. He co-founded Infinity Ward in 2002, launching Call of Duty in 2003, which, I mean, we all know came this global phenomenon, defining, military shooter genre for years to come, last 20 some years, over 20 years. And then he left Activision in 2010 to form Respawn Entertainment with Jason West, leading to highly successful titles like Titanfall, which I adored, Titanfall 2 especially, Apex
That was
Legends
a blast.
was a huge blast, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which was pretty good. And then after EA acquired Respawn, Zappella expanded his role to oversee other franchises, including then Battlefield, because all the Call of Duty stuff he had done. And then known for fostering creative freedom and trust within his development teams, a rare quality in high pressure studios, leaving a immeasurable legacy on game design, which a lot of people unfortunately, work 12 plus hours and don't have that work life balance in the game industry that other industries promote, and he was a big proponent for that. And unfortunately, the car accident was in the Angeles Crest Highway, so north of LA.
Yeah, very, very tragic, very sad.
Yeah,
He will
55.
be missed.
That is too young. That stinks.
Where do we go from there? God.
Tomorrow's Christmas
We
Eve,
didn't think
folks.
this segue through.
Oh, well, hey, man. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. We as a family unit decided to do brunch, which I think is a cool idea. We're gonna all dress up in our PJs and whatever, and I'm gonna do quiche and cinnamon rolls and mimosas and hot cocoa and yogurt, granola, and bacon and eggs, and there's gonna be a French toast casserole. I think it's great. I adore it. It's just gonna be the siblings and open presents like we were all a bunch of big kids that we are. I think it's
Yeah.
great. I'm
And
super jazzed for that.
my parents are coming, spending the night, and then we're going to Rachel's parents on Christmas Day. So plenty of mimosas to be had and delicious food. And yeah, very excited. It took a while to get everything all ready for the holidays here, but I'm starting to feel the bit of relaxation kick in, which is nice.
Yeah, and you and I have a small time off before we got to go back to work. Are there any games you're hoping to try to play during this time off?
Oh man, I've been thinking about that. So I've been looking very, very pointedly at the Xbox Game Pass. because I'm sitting on some Microsoft credits, and I was like, you know what? If I just reactivate this for a month, then I never got to play Starfield,
Mm,
and I've
mhm,
heard really
mhm.
great things about that. I mean,
Now,
Claire Obscure is top of mind as well. Like those are probably the two that are at the top of my list. But then there's also like a Diablo 4 expansion that I never picked up. So,
oh yeah, yeah, that just came out not that long ago, and it looks
and then there's
pretty
like a
good actually.
bajillion indie games that we've featured on here that I would love
Ball
to
pit,
get into.
ball pit. Yeah, I'm probably
Did you
gonna
pick that
buy
up yet?
that. No, I'm probably gonna buy
It's
it for
on
the
sale
Switch
right
too.
now on Switch.
Is it on sale on Switch? What?
Mhm.
How much?
It's like $12,
What? It's great.
18 maybe.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just saw that.
I'd buy that. I'm probably going to. I've been working through Metroid Prime remastered on the Switch 2, even though it's Switch 1, but it still looks beautiful. And it's so fun. It's just spectacular how it's a first person sci fi game, but it has all of the puzzleness and the getting through a maze to then come back and retrace your steps to complete different objectives and get power ups. It feels very much like if you took the platform that it originally came from and you put it into a 3D first person space, it still has all of that feel. And it just blows my mind that I never played this and now I'm finally playing it. And I know I'm playing it because I'm hoping to God I get Prime 4. And so yeah, it's so good. And so I'm hoping to finish that. And then I still need to finish Bonanza, which has been so bright and cheery and colorful and also very puzzly, trying to work out how to scale the levels and get through the obstacles. It's been a ton of fun.
That's good to hear. I mean, it did get really good reviews, and uh, by all accounts, it looks like it's delivering.
Oh my God, bless you.
Whew. All right. Some trailers have been making their way across the internet.
It's
There's been a
true.
teaser for Avengers Doomsday that I almost said
Shows
Aaron
off
Rodgers is returning.
Aaron Rodgers, Steve Rogers, Aaron Rodgers, Steve Rogers holding a
Uh,
baby. Whose baby is this?
yeah.
Is it his? Is it the Fantastic Four baby?
Oh, that'd be weird.
Reed Richards? No.
Or maybe they're one and the same,
Franklin?
just from different universes or something. Who knows? But
Whoa.
yeah, there's not a whole lot was shared aside from that. But who knows? Maybe sometime this summer we'll get something actiony to feast our eyeballs on. But we do have a release date. It looks like it's scheduled for December 16th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So less than a year to go.
Yep.
Less than a
I hope
year.
it's good. I hope it's good. I want it to be good and kind of
Disney needs it to be good.
get back into that, Marvel cool storyline that we spent 10 plus years building upon. And then it kind of
Yeah.
fell through for a while. So I'm optimistically excited.
And another trailer that dropped is Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey.
I did. I saw
So
that. And it showed,
it,
I was like, man, there were a lot of like Greek like monsters and stuff in what I remember the Odyssey. And they kind of teased one of the monsters looked like either a Cyclops or it didn't look like the Minotaur, but it did look like the Cyclops. So I'm curious to see if Christopher is gonna like show off more monsters, which is kind of cool because that's what I would be here
yeah,
for.
I mean the trailer itself was a little slow. I think it's really
Whoa,
was just kind of teasing the premise, teasing the plot, which I mean it's a three
Christopher
thousand year
Nolan,
old story.
yeah, but it's gonna be Christopher
um,
Nolan, which isn't
yeah. So who knows
always
what
the
he's going to do with it?
fastest.
But I'm sure it'll be an intense roller coaster when it hits IMAX theaters this summer.
Yeah, and then is it tomorrow? Stranger Things Part 2
No,
comes
it's
out, or is
Christmas
that
Day.
Christmas? So, I wish it was
Yes,
Christmas
so
Eve,
Thursday.
Thursday. So, I guess we're watching it Friday, or we're gonna be like, we're gonna go to Katie's brother's house for Christmas for dinner, but we won't stay long. And we'll be like, well, we got to go brush our teeth. Okay, bye.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have to wait until Friday to watch it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which is 2
Bollocks.
episodes, I think. I think it's 2 episodes.
Is that it? Ugh. And then we gotta
I
wait
think
a whole
so.
nother week for New Year's Day.
Which is 1 episode, but it'll be like a 2-hour long, whatever, movie style last episode.
Yeah. But you know what we have been watching that we've really gotten into is Pluribus on Apple TV,
Yeah, it's
which
like
is just an absolutely
Breaking
wild
Bad
sci-fi premise.
sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
so it's
premise?
from Vince Gilligan, the guy behind Breaking Bad. But the premise is uh, pretty much this alien virus infects humanity, uh, and it infects all of humanity with the exception of 12 people. And all the rest of humanity then shares a single lived experience, single consciousness. And so it's all of those people just they have all of their memories, they communicate instantaneously with everyone else, and then there's these other 12 people who are not part of that, and it flips everything on its head. And I don't want to give away too much, but it's a little crazy being dropped into that situation and then figuring out how to navigate it and what are your aims and goals at that point.
And
So
he has this
it
weird
is
thing about Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's done like 2 other series that have been, and sure enough, so's this one.
well, yeah, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, both in Albuquerque and now Pluribus. Maybe
Weird.
he just likes Albuquerque.
He's got the rights. He's, I just cheat for him. He's been there so long. They're like, yeah, yeah, we'll totally come on back. You can
I mean,
film
does he
here.
live there? Maybe he just wants to work from home all the time.
Maybe that's it. Like the guy who Yellowstone, he owns the ranch, and so anytime he does a new series, it's always on that ranch.
But Taylor Sheridan,
Yeah,
who is slated to do the Call of Duty movie, which will be the biggest
weird.
gaming movie ever made, probably.
But what are you gonna show? It'll be a military movie, or are you gonna do some of the sci-fi? And there's robots walking around too. Like what? If they do
Here's the
that,
thing.
that would be neat, man. That'd be neat.
I think it'll be something akin to like a Mission Impossible, but it'll follow like a Black Ops team instead of Tom Cruise.
I mean, some of the Call of Duty storylines have been pretty good. So if he takes some of those storylines, yeah, okay. Yeah. I could see that then, if you say it in that way. Okay.
Yeah. But
That one I'm not so optimistic for, but might surprise me.
do you think it'll do better or worse than the World of Warcraft movie?
I love that fucking movie, man. And I am so sad that it did not do well. They even changed the end storyline a little bit, but not a whole lot to the lore. Man, it'll probably I don't it'll probably do better. That's upsetting. I really liked that movie. I think I bought it like 3 times. It's like one of my favorite movies. But I also love WoW, like a lot. The lore of WoW and what Chris Metzen did. My
Oh yeah,
God.
so rich, so deep.
So good, dude. I mean, was it was the Apple TV show Mythic Quest was based like solely on Chris Metzen?
Was it really?
Which- Yeah. Yeah, it's heavily influenced
I did
by
not know that.
like a parody of Chris Metzen. So whatever the dude who
That's too funny.
that that co-owns the football team with Ryan Reynolds and did Always Sunny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huge
yeah, yeah.
fan of Chris Metzen. Yeah.
That's
So look at him
hilarious.
again
Especially
with the
like so we
beard.
watched all of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember like all like the leather bands and all that. Yeah. Very like old school. Old school Chris Metzen. Yeah. Trying to think. Oh, Fire and Ash.
And then we
Fire and Ash is out. It's doing good. It's not as doing as good
Avatar,
as
yeah.
Way of the Water, but it is doing good, and it's getting 8s and 9s out of 10s, which is also really good. I really want to see it. I think you're gonna go see it maybe next week or in a couple weeks.
Next week,
You
I
were
think is the
talking.
plan.
Yeah, I'd like to go see that at the theater. I'd like to share my love. It looks really good. And then there's still
James
supposed to be
Cameron my money.
Yeah. And then he's got one more. He's not
Another
doing a
2
trilogy.
movies.
He's doing a what? A quint?
A
Is it a quint?
quintilogy.
Quintilogy. Because, James can't stop at a
Well,
trilogy
we'll see if he
like
gets there.
everybody
I mean,
else.
he recorded. Well, he filmed, I think, this one and the fourth one at the same time, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he did a Peter Jackson.
So yeah. So I think I don't think we'll have to wait as many years between them. TBD, but I'm for it. I will go see anything James Cameron makes at this point. Life's too short to skip it out.
Yeah. And that guy's just got so much weird research and his own money that he's invested in doing crazy things around the world to then film nutso futso stuff that's CG and practical. It's crazy. I think did Weta help with him on some of this stuff too? I think Weta helped with him, which also great company.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. We also got Fallout coming around.
That trailer looked real good, dude.
Streaming.
And I saw the first episode. The first episode was really good. Really, really, really non-spoiler, but somebody hits a button and opens up a lot of things. And I'm real excited to see what happens.
No spoilers, but someone does something and something happens.
Yeah. So go watch the first episode. And they're going to be in New Vegas, baby.
New Vegas.
It'll be fun to see how they showed that in real world. It was really good. I think it had some bugs, but once the bugs were fixed, it got really good reviews. Originally, you guys often deal with that now, 12 years later. Skyrim 2 is a complete poop port on Switch 2. So don't play Skyrim on Switch 2. Whoops. It's an old ass game that somebody couldn't port.
Maybe we take a second and just kind of look at what's coming in 2026, or do we want to save that maybe for next week? Or maybe next week we do like a 2026 preview.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do a wrap up, talk about the year, what we hope to do and accomplish and achieve in 2026, and what we're most excited for, because there's a lot.
Yeah. My wife and I have very big plans that we cannot divulge just yet.
Yeah, you do. All right. Any more thoughts before we wrap? I don't want to drag things out. I know we got some games to play.
No, just love you guys. Happy holidays.
Yeah. Stay safe, be merry, and like and subscribe on all the socials and everything, and stay tuned for the newsletter, which comes out this Friday.
You post a newsletter, it just says coming soon. And then next week you go, I promise. And then the following week you're like, I swear. And then the following week you're like,
it's gonna be true at some point.
Don't tickle my fancy.
All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And we'll be back next week with a really gangbuster of an episode, I think, to close out the year. I think it's gonna be a bit more lively, be a little bit more not hungover, probably, for that one.
Probably. But you know what? You never know. It's vacation. It's the holidays. But it will be fun.
Yeah.
It will be fun to just see what's coming out for next year, what rumors and what's slated, and then also just what are things that we're thankful for over this last year, and then, what we hope to do in 2026.
Yeah, and maybe we can also tease some of our merch and some of our new developments and stuff.
Yeah, could be a newsletter.
I'm going to be working on it between now and then, so.
As long as you put a watermark over the assets.
Stay classy, everybody. We love you.
Peace out.
End of transmission.